Hi OGs, welcome back to On God with me, Wilhelmina Simono. Mindful, heartful, and purposeful conversations, honey. If it's your first time here, just know that you have found yourself a community of believers who are doing life with Christ one stumble at a time. And if you've been rolling with me since episode number uno, you know I super duper appreciate you. Thank you so much for holding space for the girl, as the girl has been holding space for you. Let's get social and interactive. You can follow me on Instagram, Wilhelmina_S, or we can follow each other on TikTok, which is Wilhelmina_Simono. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, let me tell you something. You're breaking my heart. Okay, you're breaking my heart. Do not forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications if you have to. You know what I mean? Because you never know on which day does the Lord actually want to talk to you. And definitely share the word. If any of the episodes have spoken to you in one way or another, share it. Because you never know who needs the word of God. Remember, it lives. It is God-breathed. So you never know. Okay, who needs the word? Let's get into today's episode. So, have you ever just gone through it? You know, like you, whoa, you are going through it. You are in the thick of the bustle and hustle of it, you know? And then someone just comes to you and says, oh, but don't worry, this too shall pass. And you're like, Rebecca, do we have an ETA on when this is going to pass? And if it's not, this too shall pass, it's, oh, you just have to be strong. Oh, geez, Tom, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of being strong, right? So that is what we are talking about in today's episode, that when we are going through it, can we at least have an ETA on when this too shall pass? Because sometimes life does throw some sucker punches. We have all been there, where you are at the bottom of the barrel, where you didn't know you could be introduced to a new hell. Life throws some lemons, and in the moment you are not even thinking of making lemonade, my honey. You are just thinking, wow, this is a zero human experience. Like, I am giving this a 1-star rating. We have all been there, where all you can do is just sit in the thick of it, and you're like, when is this ending? I need this to end. Maybe it's when you're waiting for the breakthrough. Maybe you're waiting for the healing. But all you know in the moment is that you are going through it. It is happening, and you do not want to be there. And in the moment, the last thing you are thinking is, what lesson do I need to learn from this? The last thing you're thinking is, what do I need to learn? What do I need to discover? What do I need to research? You're just thinking of the quickest way you can get out of there. You're just thinking of the shortcuts. You are just thinking of, how can I make this stop? How can I make this go faster? Forgetting that some sucker punches, some lemons that life throws at you, you just cannot simply escape them. You have to go through them. Right? And that is why we will go into the book of James, when James tells us that consider it joy, family and friends, when you go through different trials and tribulations. Now, I know when James was saying consider it pure joy, baby, he was not saying you can geeky your way through whatever you're going through, right? But I definitely think he was saying, do not waste whatever season you are going through. Do not sit there and fight the season that you are going through. Go through it, right? The verse in some translations it says, "Let perseverance finish its work," right? And in the title, "Let endurance have its full effect," just to say that whatever suffering you are going through, let it do what it needs to do in your life, and maybe, just maybe, that is the ETA that we are looking for, to let endurance and perseverance do its thing, finish its work, and then we can come on the other side of the trial and the tribulation. So the trial and the tribulation, let it birth something in you. Let it give birth to something that is going to be of importance on your journey or throughout this life thing. Maybe what the tribulation is going to do is going to birth clarity. It's going to birth peace. It's going to birth perseverance, right? It's going to birth something in you. I always say the terrible thing that happened to you is it's bad. We are sorry about it. We apologize for it. But you need to let it change you. Not for the worse, but for the better, right? So when you let endurance, when you let perseverance finish its work, you can't go around it. You can't go around it. You can't go beneath it. You can't change your mind about it. You have to sit and go through it because it's supposed to birth something in you. And that's the conversation we are having today. There's this meme that I love referencing it so much. There's this meme, I think this girl wanted to send like a risky text to a boy or something, right? And she's just like checking with her friends, like, okay, should I send this text? Should I not send this text? What should I do? What should I do? Right? And one of the friends goes like, please send that text. There are certain things only shame can teach you. And the first time I saw it, I chuckled so hard because I think of the few isolated times I have sent a text and I'm just like, yep, that will do it. And I've just never sent text like that. So I think even when we talk about perseverance, when we talk about endurance, there are certain things going through the discomfort of the trial, going through the discomfort of the tribulation. You can only learn those things through that. You will never value peace until you've gone through a situation where your peace was compromised. You can never value friendship. You can never value your health until you've gone through a situation where you're like, wow, there was a week where I couldn't breathe on my own. And now all of a sudden, you just find so much value. Like, oh my gosh, I just want to smell the fresh air. So let perseverance finish its work. Let endurance have its full effect. And maybe right now you're going through financial instability. Maybe right now you are grieving the loss of a loved one. Maybe right now you're going through a change in season where you come from a season of abundance and now you're in a season of lack and you are sitting there and you're crying, you're grieving, God, when is this going to end? And God maybe is just asking you, will you let it do what it needs to do? There's an interesting book that I read. I think I've mentioned this, The Psychology of Money. In the book, what the author does is that he finds pain points where he talks about certain millionaires and billionaires that had it all. You know, it's pretty much an investor's game, right? Where they had it all. They were investing the greed, you know, the flashy things, wealth versus rich. You know, we've had that conversation. And some of them lost it and never got it back, unfortunately for them. But he also talks about the investors that invested, lost their things, were able to get back, and now they're just operating in the game of investments differently. And I think that is the case in everyday life. We keep sitting and waiting for an answer to come in the midst of our tribulation, but it's like, can you sit with it? Can we sit with it? The Bible also tells us, it cautions us from saying, oh, but the Lord tempts me. The Lord can never tempt anyone, right? I always say 80% of the time we keep ourselves in certain seasons because we refuse to learn whatever it is that we need to learn. If you keep settling or attracting toxicity and you are unable to learn and heal the parts of you that allow toxicity to happen in your life, then you're going to be in repeated cycles. Right? Some of us, we stay in seasons longer than we should because we don't let perseverance have its full effect. We never find what is the ETA because the ETA is at the end of you learning what you need to learn through whatever season you're going through right now. So sometimes endurance is going to teach you stewardship. Sometimes endurance is going to teach you patience. Sometimes endurance is going to teach you forgiveness. There is always something you are going to learn when you let perseverance finish its work. And that is the real ETA. And yes, the thing that happened to you is terrible. And we are so sorry about that. We are so sorry that the thing that happened to you dropped you in the middle of the ocean, but right now it's time to swim back to shore. You have to swim back to shore. Because what good does it do for you to stay in the middle of the ocean? What? So the same thing that left you there can come again and find you there? I don't think so. And when you swim back to shore, you don't have to let people know how you swim back. Dry yourself up, and then you will see the finished work of perseverance. So do we have an ETA on when this too shall pass? Maybe we do. Maybe we do, family. And it's at the other end of endurance. It's at the other end of letting perseverance finish its work. That is the ETA. Because when you are not willing to confront the lessons that life is handing to you, that God is handing to you, you will be in repeated cycles. And that's when you're going to start saying things like, oh, things have just always been like that. I've never been good with money. Oh, I never do well in relationships. Oh, but you've disqualified yourself. Because you're not willing to look at the fact that maybe I'm always broke because I'm a reckless spender. I don't plan my finances. I'm an emotional spender. Maybe, you get what I mean? So that's my conversation to say the ETA as, oh, when am I going to have the financial breakthrough? The financial breakthrough is at the end of you doing the right things with your finances. Otherwise, you're going to pray and pray and pray and pray and then say, oh, this Christian stuff is for the birds. Well, cuckoo, brother. Okay, cuckoo. Let endurance have its full effect. And that's all I have for you in this week's episode, family. If this episode has blessed you in one way or another, please, please, please do share it with a friend, a family, a colleague, because you never know who needs that ETA on when this too shall pass. Otherwise, from me, stay mindful, stay heartful, stay purposeful. XOXO, Kingdom Girl.